Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Rhino Rack Roof Rack system with the 49-inch long arrow bars as well as the Rhino Rack raised rail towers. We're going to take a look at this kit right here on our 2021 GMC Acadia. So your GMC Acadia is a really fun vehicle with the ability to go through all kinds of different situations and different adventures. But sometimes for some of those adventures you need a little extra cargo room, because what if you want to carry around kayaks, or if you need a roof box for cargo space, or a roof basket, or even a roof mounted bike rack. When those situations come up, you are going to need a roof rack, kind of like this one. So this is going to be the Rhino Rack Roof Rack system. This specific kit has the 49-inch long arrow bars as well as the tower for raised rails. So we'll talk about what makes that different from some of our other kits, some specs, some measurements, some features, but we'll focus on your Acadia. That way you can get the best fit, the best kit for you and your adventures. So this 49-inch long bar kit is actually something I put together because I think if you're going to have a roof rack on your car, it might be helpful sometimes to have a little bit of extra overhang. So this can definitely fit onto your raised rails. Let's take a look at some measurements for that overhang. Here in the back from the tower to right before the tower, the end cap, it sits at a little past 3.5 inches. Now in the front, because of the way your roof is made, you have a little less overhang. So this one sits at about 2.25 inches. Now this can change too depending on where you put your crossbars. So that's something you can work with. Since this is made for raised rails, you have the entire raised rails section to make your own. Let's take some roof height measurements. So there's going to be two important measurements. The first is going to be the distance from the top of your roof to the bottom of your crossbars. And right here at the top of that ridge, it sits at 2 inches and 2.75 inches. So that's going to be the amount of space you have for your clamps and your accessories. So let's say you have a roof box that has wing nuts underneath that you need to tighten down. That's how much space you have before you hit your glass roof. That's also when I recommend getting T-track accessories. That way they sit on top and you don't have to worry about the clamps underneath. Now the second roof measurement is the height added to the top of the roof. So this time I'll measure from our glass roof. From the top of that to the top of our crossbars, it sits at about 4.5 inches. So this is where your cargo and your accessories are going to sit. So if you're carrying kayaks, if you're carrying skis, if you're carrying snowboards, they're going to sit at least this high up above your roof, depending on your accessory. In fact, with that just being about 4.5 inches, if you have extra large bindings on your skis, I do recommend taking measurements of those and possibly considering ski carriers that have that extra height so those bindings don't interfere with your roof. So my crossbars are set to 27 inches apart. That's usually measured from center to center. But what if I need a little extra crossbar spread or a little less? So as far as I can tell, the maximum crossbar spread, if you push your towers all the way out, will be about 33 inches. So if you have accessories like your roof boxes or your kayaks, that's pretty much where your Acadia limits you when using crossbars. This has the weight capacity of 165 pounds, which is pretty good. It's kind of up there for your average good roof rack weight capacity. Just make sure to try to evenly distribute whatever cargo you're carrying. Also, remember to keep in mind your actual roof weight capacity. So add up the weight of the roof rack, add up the weight of your carrier, and then add up the weight of your cargo as well when considering total roof weight capacity. So what type of security measures do we have with this roof rack? Because some others, they have locks in their towers. What this does is it has a plastic lock here. So you have to use a special plastic Rhino Rack key, and that allows you to take off the end cap. With that end cap off, you can now access the towers itself, either tighten it down, loosen it up. You also have access to your T-track mounted accessories. So you do have this T-track up here. We have the Vortex strip covering that up and making sure it doesn't whistle. The downside to this is once you have your accessory in there, you're gonna have to cut that strip to shape around the accessory. So I recommend already just going ahead and picking up a couple of these Vortex strips ahead of time if you're gonna use that aspect of your crossbars. These are the Vortex Aero Crossbars. What that means is that they're part of the modern design of crossbars. It used to be you would get round or square bars. Those had a lot of weight capacity. They worked, but they were also noisy going down the road. They had a lot of wind drag. That's where aero bars came into being. So then they allow the wind to go over the crossbar, helps decrease that wind drag, helps decrease that wind noise. That's also what these Vortex strips are on top for. So when you get this roof rack system, you're gonna have everything you technically need to install it. So you have your blue security key, you also have your special Allen key or Allen wrench, and that's used to tighten down the towers. Now, based on experience, there's some other tools that I recommend adding to your repertoire just to make your life a little bit easier. One is gonna be the Moki door step. So you put this into your door hinge, that gives you that little extra height, makes it easier to strap things down. That's gonna be these straps here. You can pick up a pair at etrailer.com for whether you're carrying kayaks or roof boxes or just cargo. And finally, a tape measure, just so you can make sure you get all the measurements right as you install this roof rack. Now let's take a look at that process. So the Rhino Rack kit for raised rails is probably going to be the easiest and fastest roof rack to assemble. So I already installed the first one and we'll do the second one together. Just get your crossbars, pop those towers in there, open up the clamps so that they fit around your raised rails, and then get up onto your roof and then just set them kind of wherever you want on your raised rails. We'll fix it in a bit. So you're gonna arrange your crossbars kind of wherever you want. That's the perks of having raised rails. Now on your raised rails, on your Acadia, there are some points here which help you out with lining it up if you're not sure what kind of crossbar spread you have. So having them in the center of those mounting points, it sits at 27 inches apart, center to center, and then you're gonna make sure you have an equal amount of overhang on each side. So I'm gonna have mine at about a little over 3.5 inches. Get that right on the other side too, and then tighten it down with your included tool. Once you've tightened down all 4 towers and everything's nice and secure, then finish it off by putting your end cap in place. So that goes up there, that pops into place and is secured by the included blue security key. So secure all 4 end caps, and once that's done, you're ready to load this up and hit the road. My personal thoughts about this roof rack system is that I do prefer this over the shorter version of bars. So if you're looking for something extremely low profile, something that just blends in with your car, doesn't take up much space, you might be interested in the more low profile, either Inno roof rack with flush feet or the 46-inch long crossbars from Rhino Rack. If you're carrying accessories that require a bit more overhang, this might help you out. Now in the front, it only gave about, 2.5 inches, 3 inches of overhang. So even that's not enough for some of our kayak load assist carriers. So definitely check out your accessories, check out those measurements ahead of time. That way you can get the right fit for you. Hopefully this video helped you out so that you can get the best roof rack kit for your adventures and for your cargo. And that was a look right here at our Rhino Rack Roof Rack system with the 49-inch long Vortex Aero Crossbars and the towers for your raised rails right here on our 2021 GMC Acadia. My name is Evangeline and I hope you enjoyed the journey.